Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Why you got so quiet, man?
Because I'm waiting for
Yeah.
the beat to drop and for us to like get in the
Right,
vibe
right.
of it. Right.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys, to a Different World podcast, the podcast where we thrive on having disruptive conversations about sex, politics, religion, pop culture, and everything else in between.
All of it.
I'm your host, Corey Kareem, alongside the lovely
Angelina Williams.
And I'm super excited because today we're talking about something everyone wants to talk about, relationships.
Because it's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day, it's Love Month, people cuffing, people breaking up, people doing all types of things, social media. And we have a special guest here. I'm going to let Ange do this.
So, yeah, this is the Meet Mr. Kaizen man himself, Kassius Denizen.
Hold on.
Cass and I go, wait.
You got to say the name again. We got to roll that up again. Come on, do it one more time.
Meet Mr. Kaizen himself, Kassius Denizen, in the house. Cass and I go way back. I'm actually really happy to have you on this.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome.
I keep seeing little clips and I'm like, what am I not good at?
No,
There you
it's
go.
just a matter of time. We had to make sure that the life coach, Canada's very own Hitch,
Yes.
was coming on for our love episode.
A love episode.
Get people right and straight for Valentine's Day.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, man.
My first question. So, former CFL player?
Former football player. Yes.
Right. So, describe to me how you go from on the field playing football to in this field where you're like a lifestyle coach.
It wasn't by design. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Injury led to depression that led to needing to find self again, and that led me down. I've always been passionate about image and presentation and how men specifically present themselves. I was brought up a certain way, so when I didn't see other men doing the same thing, it was like, what's the disconnect here?
Right.
So it wasn't a decided transition. It was a happenstance that led me into my love, which is this work that I do now.
I know he came all suited up.
I know.
And
I'm
like,
feeling
we're
like
all, bummy.
I had a feeling this was gonna happen, man. I had a feeling this was gonna happen.
This is what I do every day.
I was like, man.
Here. Like, what would you expect?
Yeah, you actually opened your store recently. What's the address of
87 Cumberland Street.
Okay.
Where you find a Mr. Kaizen. We do custom suiting. We offer some off-the-rack options.
Yeah.
Everything is more geared towards the term I hate, which is dressing up. But it's more suiting, blazers, shirts, button up.
Gentleman's attire.
Gentleman's attire. That's
Yeah, taking over Yorkville.
That's what's up, man.
That's what we're trying to do.
One store at a time.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So let's just get right into it, man. I mean, this is such a hot topic. So, you primarily or only work with men, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you a thing. What is like the most common problem, issue that men come to you about? What would you say that is?
Men come to me about image. That's what they think. They come to me on, I want to change, the way I dress and my look. And they come in with ideas, they want to look like Kobe Bryant or Cam Newton or Bradley Cooper. And I'm just like, I'm not Jesus. I can't and make those kind of changes.
Right.
In our initial discussions, because I always have a consultation, I normally give my guys a questionnaire to kind of get a sense of who they are.
Right.
And then when they come in, then, I let you tell me what you think you're here for.
Right.
And then I give you some feedback.
Got it.
And through that, we realize the number one problem for most of the men I've come in contact with is really confidence and self-love.
Wow.
But they, most men are not going to sit down and identify that.
Right.
They look at the external things that they think if only I fix this, then everything else is going to fall into place.
Right.
And in most cases, that's not the case.
Right.
So it's usually confidence in how to love themselves, which affects how they do everything.
Right.
It's interesting because as a woman, there are like just countless books and seminars and TV shows and all of this about, you know,
Think like a man.
We're not gonna touch on that. We're not gonna touch on that book yet. I mean, some people love it, but controversial. But there's so many things out there for us. It's almost like if you are a woman in this era, if you're not on that move, then it's not really a thing. But when I talk to my guy friends, I'm like, so what are you doing for personal development, self-improvement? It's all money related.
Right. And we're in an era right now where women empowerment, female empowerment, it's peaking. It's
at the forefront.
It's the thing right now.
Right.
So there's a lot of resources and it's necessary and it's important. But we're also in an era where there's less fathers in the home. Less men are going to church because that used to be one of the places where a man learned how to be a man. Less men are going to higher education. Women are doing it, 3 times what they used to do it. Men are doing it less and less.
Right.
Because we're finding, we're online making money. We're doing other ways to make money.
Right.
So the educational realm where we get in contact with other people where we can learn how to be, and learn about manhood, all those areas are dwindling and dwindling. So now we're on social media learning how to be men.
Which is... So I want to ask you guys this question.
Go for it.
So even in the spirit of personal development, from a women's perspective, there is a shitload of books about relationships, right? And it's almost as if it's shifting a little bit now, but I feel like a lot of these like online gurus, these Instagram people, guys even, there's men out there that have these pages and these communities, if you will. They're men talking to women about like how to get a man. And I'm like, where are the men that are talking to men about how to get a woman? But for women, we hear it both from other women telling women, hey, you got to be this, you got to do this, you got to look like this, you got to whatever. You hear men telling women that. But why aren't men telling men that? Or are there men just not listening? What's the deal? What's happening?
We're not great listeners. That's one of our biggest problems. But more important than that, we are not in touch with who we are even. So you can't seek help for something that you're yourself not realizing that you need help with. Men, for the most part, come on this earth and just think we got it together.
Right.
In most cases.
Okay.
In most majority of cases.
All right.
So self-improvement and self-awareness is solely based on how much more money we can make.
Right.
Not about how can we be better fathers, how can we be better brothers, and how can we take care of the community. Those things are less important than I made 100,000, now I need to make 200,000, because money is really what we're here to
provide,
breed and provide. that's it. And it's unfortunate that that's really where we've come to, which has led to some of the problems that we have now in terms of the Me Too movement. In my work and just analyzing and research, like in every asset, it's men that are lacking that are having these problems, and men that are lacking that don't realize it, or 2 don't know what to do about it. So the behavior just gets done over and over again without resolution, which leads to
what we have
right now.
That's imbalance.
Most men don't know.
Yeah.
I won't get ahead of myself.
I agree with you, because to me, I was like, I think this question came up before. We might have had this discussion. It's like, for most men, we don't recognize that we have an issue. So if you don't recognize that you have an issue, then why would you want to read a book about how to get better? And it's because also you understand the culture of growing up as a young man. You have things like, a dime a dozen, on to the next. So if it doesn't work out with one girl, you're like, all right, on to the next one, right?
In most cases, it was her problem. It was her issue. It was her girls that made her do this and all that. There's really very rarely any self-reflection in what was my role in this, what was I not doing, how did I contribute to this, and it's just funny how much denial we are as men in terms of what our behavior is and how much responsibility we hold for that.
100%.
I can't remember who it was, because you talked about like the decline of men in spiritual places like church and stuff like that. I'm racking my brain trying to figure.
That's not to say I'm an advocate for church.
No. But it's interesting. It's interesting that you said that. I'm trying to remember who it was that posted this. This was actually on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was one of those guru guys that said it. But like, church is where you'll find women, children, and gay guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Right? And I was just too. Like, you heard you.
I don't know who it is, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So now I wonder if that kind of getting to a place where you're seeking to develop improve self on an emotional level, does one need to be vulnerable to do that? And is that vulnerability seen as being too feminine or what have you? Is that why the resistance is there?
Absolutely. The reason a man won't ask for direction, I'll give you the most simple example. A man will drive for hours and be lost. I mean, now we got GPS and all that in our maps, but
and I love the fact that Siri's still a woman.
We would rather be lost than to humble ourselves and say, you know what, I don't know where I'm going and I need help. Right. Yeah. For most men, that's a difficult thing to, again, recognize that you need help and then asking for it. Because a lot of men might know, they might have that feeling, but it takes a certain humility to admit it and then seek the help that you need, which, again, every time I get a client, I'm always amazed. And I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's just like, the first thing I always say is, you're brave. Because it takes... to own it and recognize, all right, I need to talk to somebody. Right. And in the black community, therapists and all that used to be a very negative word.
What?
Yeah.
What do you need a therapist for? What's wrong?
Pray it
with
away.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's why I need one, because there is something wrong with me and I'm trying to correct it. But
right.
Own that and admit that. You'll find women more now do it. Black men still are, if you look at the stats, we're the last segment of society to ask for help in a therapeutic session.
Right, for sure. So I want to talk to you about safe spaces, fraternities, spaces where men could feel that they could be vulnerable and have these discussions with other men. I know I said safe spaces initially, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, safe space. And when you say fraternities, do you mean just
not
what the word, the definition means, and not necessarily
not the institution? Necessarily not the
Those
institution.
Are some of the most unsafe places.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. When you want to talk about toxic masculinity, another term that Corey hates me saying, but that's a breeding ground. That's a petri dish for all that bad behavior. I'm talking about fraternity in terms of the global brotherhood. But you pushed to get back against safe spaces, and your retort was kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, everywhere should be safe. Whether you're male, female, black, white, whatever you are, you should be able to be vulnerable when you are vulnerable. Not that we want to breed a bunch of sensitive people, which is what the people that hate the term really, they just hate that there should be anybody that should be protected. There is need to protect certain people because of the history of the way the world's constructed and everything that happens.
Right.
But the idea that men should have to retreat to a safe place in order to say, you know what, I'm this thing right now is messing me up and I need help. That shouldn't be a place you have to retreat to. It should be something you should be able to say, and people rally and say, here's some resources, let's get you right.
Right.
It's just better for a community on a whole if you don't have to send people away for them to be well.
I hear you.
Versus the community just saying, all right, this is what this person needs right now. Let's help them with this.
But I think that's more of like a utopia in the sense that
a perfect world.
Yeah, we live in a capitalist society, and what capitalism teaches is that you exploit someone's weakness to get up. So just the same way you guys were saying, men are like, get that money, grind. And like the people that do listen to are the Gary Vees, who's that other guy? Tony Robbins. All these people are talking about building wealth. If that's the only thing that people are focusing on building, then you do have to create a space where men can be like show themselves, where people won't exploit those weaknesses.
In recent history now is social media, where I see men posting their stories, posting their hurts, and their IG stories and stuff like that, because in most cases it's just you and the phone. So you're not really thinking,
screaming into the void kind of thing.
Exactly. You're not really facing other people. Yes, you put it out, you know people are going to respond to it, but I find that has become a safe place for people.
Interesting.
Most men don't have real conversations with their boys. That's just a fact.
That's true.
Everything is really surface. A woman will call and tell her girlfriend what the man did and how it hurt her and how it affected her on an emotional level and the number of tears she shed. And we were like, yeah, I broke up with that.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's done.
Yeah.
You know?
No one asks, like, how do you feel about it? Like, who cares?
And he's not going to go, so how do you feel? You know, was it your fault? Was it, you know, let's explore. What did you do wrong? What was right? No,
right.
Forget all of that. And but that individual is still hurting. Yeah. You know, and that pain is still there. And his solution is to try to get the next one and carry that pain into that, which leads and it's just a snowball effect. It doesn't. So when I say yes, it's a utopia, but the more of us that recognize that when we're weak, we need to start saying it.
Yeah.
Versus retreating and hoping it's going to go away, which is what most men do.
I think it's like so. Who came up? Was it Terry
Crews?
Yeah, when he talked about his incident and like
in Hollywood.
And people got on him like, "Yo, you're a big ass dude. You played in the NFL, whatever." Like, how'd you let that happen?
As if power is only about physicality.
Yeah.
Which is
right.
It's the most ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
Because most powerful people are powerful in terms of status and money, and then in terms of physicality.
Right.
Because then black people would run the world. So it's you know it's comical, which is why I applauded Terry that he came out as he did. Yeah. And more again, it's going to start a trend of more men owning that, because Hollywood is one of the most abusive places. And
very manipulative.
Well. Right. That stuff happens and nobody talks about it because you don't want to seem like the soft guy that. Yeah. How could you be a victim?
Yeah. Right. And I think the thing about the Terry Crews situation that really bothered me is that D.L. Hughley is someone I do enjoy. I do enjoy his commentary, his political commentary in particular. Yeah. But I just thought it was really hurtful for another black man who knows what the Hollywood thing is about, who knows how many times black men have to bite their tongues in those types of spaces. I mean, Terry Crews is arguably an extreme in terms of the sexual assault, but black people deal with it every day. Where we're like, oh, I really want to deck this person, but I got bills to pay, but I got
long term,
but I have to make sure I don't whatever. So for DL, he could be so disingenuous and kind of come and say, well, you should have. And Terry Crews' clapback was so incredibly important. So you're out here saying this crap. So should I deck you? You know what I mean? But I really feel that
because DL has been in situations where he's been his tough.
Of course, we all have.
It's only now that again, he has some power. He now can, do the clapbacks that he wants to do, walk off, Megyn Kelly show and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Back in the day when he was trying to get famous,
he
walked off anything.
Exactly.
He would have sat there like a good little boy, like most people feel
like they have to do.
Like they have to do. So again, it's this thing. You don't have to agree with it, but don't chastise somebody for coming forward and speaking their truth.
Right.
You don't have to support.
Right.
But just don't throw rocks. That's to me that's the number one problem with it, which is why most guys keep their issues to themselves until they take it to the extreme or take it out on other individuals. Is that we don't create environments where it's just like, you know what? Yeah. He's hurting right now, so let him go through that.
Got those trust issues. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to where I have my close circle of friends. We get pretty intimate about really what's going on, but you're talking 15 years of friendship. Like there's that trust, but to your point, most men don't have that. It's that that toxic masculinity. No, I'm good, and they're really hurting. And it's so funny, with social media, which I'm gonna lead to my next question about how you feel like social media plays into affecting our mentality and how we approach women and just relationships in general. It's so interesting because I was having a conversation with somebody and their social media looks exceptional, traveling, great shape, whatever, and then you have a conversation and it's completely different, right? And it's just I was saying to the person, I was like, you realize there's people envying your account right now, being like, I wish I was this person, and then the opposite's really going on in their mind. And so to my question, how do you feel social media is affecting men in relationships and just in terms of their confidence and how they approach things in life?
Well, for me, I always try to go in out because the way a man feels about himself is the way he's going to treat the people around him, including his woman, whatever relationship it is. This is why every time somebody tells me a guy is mistreating a woman, I'm like, he's hurt. I always go to that place because that's where it's coming from. It's not you're not born in this world to be abusive. Right. It is a way to get your pain out and you don't know what else to do. That being said, social media, has, like anything else, has its good side and its bad side. Of course. It's great for aspirational, this is possible from that perspective, but it is easy to get caught up with well, man, look how well he's doing, and I'm not doing so well. Right. Comparison confidence gets shoved down a little bit. Yeah. Look at the girls he's doing. Look at the events he's at. I'm not doing that. Yeah. I must be losing in life. Yeah. Versus, as you pointed out, most of that is artificial. Right. For most social media accounts. Yeah. It's and where I want to take my work is to empower guys to recognize that everything you see is not real, but there's things you can take and decide how you want to use that in your own life to empower yourself. Not the first thing that's why when I mentioned before with clients, when they come in and they're like, Cam Newton and Bradley Cooper and all that, I'm like, what do you and Cam Newton have in common? Yeah. He's a multi-million-dollar football player. Yeah. You have a job at TD. Yeah. I'm not sure. Are you going to try to switch into that? Because let's just work on you and what are your best attributes and your best qualities, and let's use Bradley as things that he has accomplished in his lane. Yeah. Let's see what you can accomplish in your lane. Yeah. Versus I want to be like. Right. Like I hated the whole thing about I want to be like Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's where I see social media can be powerful because, again, it allows some people to share hurt stories, not just the fluff. Right. But it can also be detrimental in that people really think, oh, it's real life, not realizing it's a show. Yeah. For majority of people, it's a show being. It's miniature. It's a highlight reel. Yeah. It's Hollywood. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So Kassius, all the listeners out there, to all the viewers out there, they want to get themselves either a nice shiny custom fitted suit, or whether they want to they get a consultation and talk about how they can improve their branding as a young man, as a person. Yeah. How do they get in contact with you? There's 3, 4, 5 different options. You either go to my website, www.meetmrkaizen.com, and that's just MEETMRKIAKAIZEN.com. Go to my IG, I am Kassius. Go to the business IG, which is Meet Mr. Kaizen. Or come 87 Cumberland and just say, hey, Kassius, what's up? I need a new suit. And we'll pick fabric, get one of my designs, and I'm in a suit 7 days a week. So it's a topic that we can talk and have some fun and create some good stuff for you. Perfect. Well, that concludes this episode. It's fantastic. So thank you for having me, guys. Make sure to check us out on our IG account, ADW_podcast, as well as on YouTube, A Different World Podcast, as well. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, all the above. We need the love and the support. Yeah. Please share. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace and love.